guys, what is up? Darkstorm here with you again today. So today I want to show you a new deck. I call it the free-to-play player's dream, or anyone that's not using a lot of money. This is the deck here. Pretty much there's no epics, no legendaries. And if you look at this deck, it's got the Inferno Tower, it's got the Zap, it's got Ice Golem, Ice Spirit. You know that it's like a control deck. So there are many different types of decks. But this one here, I use a control deck because, as you guys know, I like decks that are a little bit more defensive, and I like to go for counterattacks. I don't like the brawler decks, the very offensive type decks, so that's why I tend to focus on these decks. But I guess, guys, it's really based on your playstyle. You guys can use any type of decks. Offensive decks, swarm decks, control decks, or support decks. So decks, you know, with P.E.K.K.A, golems, something big and strong, you want to support them. Even Three Musketeers deck. So it doesn't mean that those decks don't work, obviously. A lot of people play those decks and do very well, but you know, it all really depends on your playstyle. Also, another thing I want to do now is at the end of the video or somewhere in the video, I'm gonna give some random facts about life. So today I'm gonna actually talk about how to make your own movie popcorn. So very random, very odd topic. If you guys are interested, you guys can stay behind after the video, and then I'll explain to you why, because that's pretty much one of my favorite snacks. I hate those oily popcorns. But if you look at this deck here, pretty much what you can do is switch off the hog for a miner. So for example, if you don't mind spending money, you have a very high level miner, you can definitely do that. Another card that you can do is switch the log for the zap. Now guys, you know I don't have the log yet, so I can't really do that. And also I am trying to keep the deck fairly easy to achieve, so that's why I'm keeping this deck the way it is. I mean, it's got me to 4K and over so far with this deck and these levels, so it is highly doable. And as you can see, a lot of the cards still need to be leveled up to make it even stronger. So hopefully, you know, if you have higher level cards, you can push even further. But pretty much this is this deck that I built here. So again, I'm going to show you some replays of this deck against other decks. Now, one of the strengths of this deck is the Lava Hound balloon type decks. If you're facing against air, you've got this one in the bag. You'll have Ice Golem, Minions, Musketeer, and Inferno Tower, and a Fireball to counter air decks. So that's definitely one of the strengths. So if you see, you know, the meta using a lot of air decks, then you might want to pick this deck to use, right? But because of the Inferno Tower, you are weak against the lightning, so but you'll see more about it here. So I'm picking this deck to show you. So right off the bat, good play by my opponent with the tombstone, but because I know that it's on the side, I chose the other lane where my hog rider won't be interrupted, so I can go straight for the tower for the attack. Sometimes if I have a fireball, that's what I use too. I use the fireball, do some chip damage to the tower, and also blow up the tombstone. That way it opens up for my hog rider to rush in. I'll talk more about combos too at the end of these gameplays, just to help you play this deck a little bit better, or just different ways of playing this deck. So here again, Musketeer, I'm just letting her go in by itself. Good thing I have the Inferno Tower again to counter the Royal Giant, and then Ice Golem there just to block the Ice Wizard attacking the Inferno Tower. And then also Ice Golem is great. One of my combos is I use my Hog Rider to push the Ice Golem, and the Ice Golem acts as a mini tank for me as well. So it's great to counter against like Skeleton Army. So if you know they play Skeleton Army or even Minion Hordes, then it's great to use your Hog Rider to push the Ice Golem forward. That way it can tank for you. So here, starting off again, because I am ahead a bit, I played even more defensively. So again, Musketeer is great when you have her. You just set her at the back, because that will force your opponent usually to initiate, as you know, it takes a while for your Musketeer to go up. This is another area I like to play the Inferno Tower, because again, in case my opponent has a lightning spell, sometimes if you place the Inferno Tower a bit higher in that little region, one, you can still, you know, damage Royal Giant, or Lava Hound, but they usually cannot lightning your tower and your Inferno Tower. So it protects you a little bit that way. So that's usually a good area to play. Even if you play a little bit over to the other lane, it would be even better. But again, the next video I'll show you a bit more of that because the opponent does have a lightning spell. So here again, all I'm doing is I'm trying to counter whatever's coming at me because again, this deck is very defensive. I don't really have a lot of offensive units here. So mainly what I want to do is stay defensive and then counterattack until I get that one tower. Then I just try to hold off as much as I can. So again, play the Infernal Tower. At this point, I know that just by counting the cards my opponent has, he doesn't have any lightning spells, so it's safe to play the Infernal Tower pretty much anywhere a little bit lower, just so, you know, if they send a skeleton army or minions, you know, your Infernal Tower will still blast the target that you want. So that's pretty much that first replay here. The next replay I want to show you is this other popular archetype with the Golem, you know, the Elixir Collector, and the Electric Wizard. So here we go. So in the beginning, you know, the Elixir Collector, what I like to do is another combo of mine is the Hog and Fireball, because my Fireball is going down that lane for sure because it damages the tower and the Elixir Collector, but I saved it a little bit so that just in case, in that case where they play units a little bit closer to that, my Fireball can hit 3 things instead of just 2. So a huge bargain, huge Elixir advantage. When you play control decks, it is very important to stay ahead on the Elixir curve and then try to chip away at that tower as much as you can. So here, Golem, so I play my Musketeer at the back. Again, that just helps me defend the Golem a little bit better. So here, Infernal Tower for the Golem. I place it a little bit closer to the other edge. You can see that the Golem still gets attracted to that. Ice Golem to tank the Elite Barbs, and then my minions there for a cleanup, and then my Musketeer there as well just to damage whatever they have there. Hog Rider just there to help support my counterattack, so units are left over. So far I'm usually in good shape. So how I know I'm in good shape with this deck is usually by half mid-game. If I can pretty much lower that tower to below half health, I'm usually in good shape, because just by me sending fireballs, playing very defensive, I can pretty much chip away that tower before overtime ends. So that's pretty much how I play this game. I try to stay ahead on the Elixir curve and just toss my Fireball or my Hog Rider in just to chip the damage as much as I can. And then just defend first before you go in for attack usually. So here again, just preparing for the Elite Barbs, the Golem, and the Ice Golem rush. So great play by my opponent, but my minions counter their minions, and then my Infernal Tower will counter the Ice Golem. And then here I'm a bit of trouble, so good thing that my Ice Spirit still did the trick. It attracted the Elite Barbs a little bit over to the center, but with my Fireball there, I was able to eliminate that threat. So here, great, because they left my Musketeer alone, so I didn't even need the Fireball to finish the other lane. My leftover Musketeer did the job for me there. So again, now I just need to hustle and defend this lane one more time. So again, Ice Golem for the minions. Ice Spirit is going to try to attract the Elite Barbs back in there, but good zap play by my opponent. It stopped the Elite Barb a little bit, and then my Ice Spirit died, so one of the barbs was attracted to my tower. But that's okay, there's not a lot of time left. And with the bottleneck there, I decide just to not risk it and send that Fireball in. And that's pretty much it. So those are 2 replays. Again, with the Infernal Tower, you are strong against those big units like Golems, Giants, Lava Hounds, but you are weak and vulnerable against the Lightning spell, so that's why you have to play that Infernal Tower a little bit higher and towards the other side of the lane. Once you see that large target, that large unit like the Golem, the Giant get into range. So don't play your Infernal Tower too early, or any tower too early for that matter. Really try to play it the last second or the last couple of seconds you can. That way you ensure that that defensive building is going to protect you. But also, again, timing is important because you run that risk of missing, and then, like for example, the Royal Giant Array locks onto your tower, so then that damages your tower. But you got your Ice Spirit to reset it. So again, just to talk about a few combos that this deck has. Usually for my offensive attack, I pair it with my Hog and Fireball. So for example, if they have barbarians, if they have swarm type stuff like minion hordes, skeleton army, I usually use my ice golem and my hog. And then sometimes when they play a big unit like a golem or Pekkas or 3 musketeer on the other side of the lane, I rush them with my hog and my minion because they do a lot of damage if you don't have an answer to them, which usually is the case if they play a big unit. Now again, zap spell, you can replace it with the log. It is great with the log because air, you already have a solid defense. You got minions, musketeer, ice golem, and ice spirit, so you can technically replace zap with log. I personally think it makes this deck better, but again, it makes this deck cost more because the log does pretty much significantly more damage than the zap. You saw the zap spell there does like 80 something damage, but the log does 100 something. So just throughout the game, you can literally chip off hundreds and hundreds of damage with the log versus the zap. And then also the miner, in that case, you can substitute for the hog, because with the the hog generally does more damage if you can catch your opponent off guard, but the miner is very consistent at chipping the tower away. So if you pair it with the log, then it offers a little bit more steady damage into that lane, and also it helps counter the elixir collector decks and the hut decks a little bit better. So that's pretty much how you play that deck. Again guys, this is part of the 4K deck series, so you guys are interested in trying out new decks in the 3K to 4,000 trophy range, make sure you check out the 4K deck series. I'll link the 2 videos at the end here. But now back to our popcorn story here. Pretty much what the secret ingredient to make theater popcorn is actually not real butter. It's this ingredient called flavicol. You can buy it on Amazon or eBay. Again, I have no affiliations with this, just a popcorn lover sharing his experiences. So it's an artificial flavoring that pretty much tastes even more buttery than butter if you look at the reviews online. But pretty much it makes the popcorn taste very buttery without that oily feeling on your tongue or your fingers. So that's what makes it so nice. And apparently they use that in theaters too. So that's pretty much that secret ingredient to make perfect popcorn. You pretty much buy that thing in like a milk carton, and then you put like a teaspoon of it in every cup of kernels that you pop, and then you shake it up, and then it should taste even better than your theater popcorn, because when you make it yourself at home, it's guaranteed to be fresh. Make sure the steam is the most important in popcorn, so don't get too excited right away. Let that steam get absorbed into the popcorn, makes it extra fresh, extra tasty. That's a secret that I found. So guys, if you're a popcorn lover, definitely give this one a try. I'll save you a lot of money if that's what you buy at the store anyways. So guys, I hope you like these random facts. I hope you like this video and this deck. Again, it's great for free-to-play players or any players that like control type decks. So guys, if you like what I'm doing, please give me a like, give me a subscribe, and for sure I'll see you guys next time. Clash on!